Hey, what is up everybody? How are you guys doing? I hope everybody's having a wonderful Sunday. I appreciate you coming and checking out this video. I encourage you to go check out the channel, some of my other videos. I touch on a lot of subjects that a lot of people don't touch on, and hey, any support that you give for the channel, A-okay with me. So today I want to talk about this weird fog that's going on around the country right now. We just had the election, we got the results. It was a little bit shocking. Nobody really expected Trump to win, especially in the manner that he won. But people are almost taking it too far. It's not a realistic reaction to what happened. Yeah, there's a lot of Trumpsters out there. They're on top of the world right now. I don't really consider myself that person. Like I mentioned in my last video, yes, I did vote for him. I think he was definitely the shiniest turd in the bucket, but that's about all it is. I hope he's gonna attack some of the little things that he's actually capable of doing by himself. And I'm already seeing a lot of those things come into play, that he's going to make some changes that I was hoping for. But this whole thing, and it's especially, and maybe it's just because of my personal algorithm on what I decide to look at. I watch mostly YouTube. I follow tons of people on YouTube. I don't really watch the news too much. I watch the news when I'm forced to watch the news. Other than that, I like movies, Hollywood productions, and things like that. I'm not a big sitcom person or anything like that, so basically what I'm getting at is I mostly watch YouTube. And I see a lot of these things where everybody is just putting their guard completely down, balling it up and throwing it in the trash. There's nothing to worry about anymore. All the problems in the world are fixed. I just don't get it. It's like the attention span of people are really showing their faces right now. Maybe it's that I'm hitting a little bit younger generation of mentality in the world. But for the prepping community, for instance, people are quitting prepping. People are taking their guard down and saying, I don't need to keep stocking up. The economy is going to get fixed. I don't need to get EMP proofing for my house now because there's not going to be a nuclear war or anything like that. To me, this is delusional. It is completely delusional. Nothing has changed in the world. Nothing has gone away with the economy. Everything is still right there, the same as it was 2 weeks ago when everybody was flipping out about it. Now people aren't flipping out about it. That confuses me. I don't get it. Just because one person is going to be able to make some little changes, that doesn't change the world. All our adversaries around the world don't care. You know, they're going to care a little bit because the way that we do things are going to be a little bit different, but it doesn't change the outcome. It doesn't change SHTF at all. It's not going to change the economy. Like I talked about in my last video, it's not going to change the price of food. Maybe it might change a little bit on the price of gas because he wants to start opening up drilling a little bit more. But as far as I understand, that's just going to go back into the economy to cause inflation because we're going to drill to sell. We're not going to drill to give to the American people. We'll see how that works out. I might be wrong on that. The economy is still crashing. We got our toes hanging over the edge. The deficit is not going to get fixed under Trump. It takes a decade, if it's even possible. Cutting everything and doing like what Bill Clinton did, it took him 8 years. It took him both terms, and we are in the largest deficit that the country ever saw. He left office with a surplus. He left office with money. If you go back and look at the old George Bush debates, it's how are you going to spend these billions of dollars that we have sitting in the bank? Which was dumb, obviously, but should have just put it in a savings account and put it in the 401k. You know, anyway. None of this stuff has disappeared, folks. The threats that the FBI has been coming out with, saying that terror threats from Iran, from all these different places, are very real and very much going to happen. To say it any other way, that's what they're saying. They're saying it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. These terrorist attacks are going to happen. It's going to be much worse than 9/11. They've said it. The Taliban has said it. Everybody that's involved with it says it. Nuclear war is no different. The threat is still there. North Korea is still a threat. Iran is still a threat. China is definitely still a threat. This little whole false homeboy romance with Trump and Putin, whatever that is, I don't get. That's still a threat. That is still very much a threat. The only thing that I think could change is something with Ukraine and Russia, but I don't really see much changing. I could be wrong on that. There's a pretty good chance. Just because he has to do something. Trump has to do something that he said he was going to do. That is a potential thing to just completely screw over Ukraine and help out Putin and Russia. But it's definitely and far from a permanent solution with Russia hating us, with Russia going to war with the United States. Nothing with Korea has changed. Nothing in the Middle East has changed or is going to change. It's just going to be a little bit different. That's the only thing that changes with these presidential things. And you have to remember as well, Russia, China, Iran, all these places look at Trump getting elected as just a little blip in history. If you look at Russia, Putin, he was there for Clinton. He was there for Bush. He was there for Obama. He was there for Trump. He was there for everybody since the 90s. This is just one little chapter in their agenda. We're looking at it like it's going to change the world. The world doesn't care. You look at China. China, their plan has been going on for the better part of 100 years. You think this little 4-year cycle is going to change anything? No. Do you think that Trump is going to go in there and magically change anything? No. These threats have not changed. SHTF has not changed. Nothing has changed except for a whole bunch of Republicans in our country cheering on good times. That's what worries me, because the times aren't getting good. Now, I've talked about it before that whoever gets this presidential slot right now is going to be deemed the worst president of all time. It can be this one, it can be the 2028 elections, or both. I don't know. That's a little bit scary too. I'm pretty confident that's the way it's going to go down, because SHTF is going to happen anytime within the next 8 years, probably much sooner than later. I think the Democrats know this as well, because the way that they're acting pretty weird too, right? You look at CNN, they were basically praising on Trump. You're looking at all this media. I watched The View. The day after the election, I watched The View. Yeah, that's I think the first time I've ever watched it. But I understand their super far left ideology and stuff like that, and I watched it to watch their heads explode, to be honest. I wanted to see him completely, flip out and do this whole liberal breakdown thing. And no, what did they do? They were extremely civil. They were like, it's okay, I'm not happy about it, but this is okay. And I'm just like, what's going on? Why isn't the reaction happening? And I think what's going on is the Democrats know what's going to happen under the Trump administration. I think they know that shit's going to hit the fan during Trump and during a Republican watch. And they are setting it up right now to say, we're the nice guys. They came out, they had nothing to say. They're like, I concede to the presidency. everybody came out like clockwork, like a best case scenario for how the Democrats are going to deal with the situation. We know the Democrats don't do things in the best case scenario. They do it in extreme examples. This is very different. It's a little concerning. And I hear people talking about how concerning this is, like something ain't right. When the 2028 elections come up or the 2032 elections come up, when it's time for a change in the administration or regime, however you want to look at it, they're setting themselves up right now from day one that they are going to be the nice guys. They're already setting up a plan to be the opposite of Trump because that's what's going to win. Whatever is the opposite of what caused the problem is what people are going to vote for. They're already putting their game together for 4 years from now pretty strongly. That's what's going on. Now, I'm prepping. I am prepping full speed ahead. I am not slowing down anything because I realize that nothing has changed. There's this bliss. There is a Trump cloud floating around everybody's head right now, and everybody just thinks everything is going to be so good. Now, when you think about when really hard times hit, everything keeps getting better until it is not. When the stock market crashes, it's a steady rise on your side. It's a steady rise kind of coming up, and then it starts getting really good, and then it just nosedives. I think that's what's going on with our society right now. I think that's what's going on in the world right now. We're just hitting this euphoric peak of, I don't even know what to call it. But we're hitting a peak right now before it all falls apart. It's getting everybody, preppers included, YouTube influencers included. It's getting the media included. It's getting our society included in this false peak euphoria that is the reason why these economic downturns, these wars that start, are so bad. Because nobody's going to see it coming. And that is the way China works. That is the way Iran works. That is the way China works. North Korea. They take advantage of situations. We are creating ourselves a major situation right now that is going to get taken advantage of. This is how it's all going to go down. Now, for me, my prepping ain't slowing down. I'd like to encourage everybody to definitely keep prepping because nothing else has changed in the world. SHTF is still right around the corner, folks. And if you're one of the guys that are just putting your guard down and saying everything's going to be good, my farts are going to start smelling like Starburst, all the power to you. I wish you the best of luck, but that ain't me. All I can do is tell you what I'm going to do, and that's prepping. So I will leave it with that. I don't want to go too far down this rabbit hole because it gets into a lot of negative stuff, but definitely keep prepping, keep putting food back, keep going to hit your goals that you want to hit. It's more important now than it has ever been. So I'll leave with that. You guys have a good day. Peace.